Hello.
Never again.
Yeah, hey everybody.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Rule Slayers podcast. We're already losing it. It's already been lost.
Never had it.
Did we have it?
Have we ever had it?
Never had it.
Get in the Discord and let us know.
In 5 weeks we'll get it to know.
You've not had it.
You have not. Stop.
Before we get into tonight's episode, as always, we have a few announcements to get out of the way. Hayden, take it away.
Sirenscape.
Yeah! We do have it.
What is Sirenscape, Hayden?
He finally found it.
Well, that's a good question, Chris. Sirenscape is the website that has the sliders there behind all of the little sword sounds and yells and what other sound effects might you hear?
Water splashes.
Water splashes.
Background
Chittering.
Ooh, yeah.
And you know what? They're faded into the background of the stellar music of Beyond Skyrim, Scanlan Shorthalt Music, and Celestial Aeon Project. Those four together make up the soundscape of this podcast. You should check them all out on our website, rollslayers.com/partners. You know what else makes up a valuable part of this podcast? I did this exact bit last time too. Huh. Yeah. It's Eldritch Foundry. Eldritch Foundry makes all of our custom minis that we love and cherish so much. Play with the little points of articulation. Make their hands go all over, like up above their head, or like, patting their own butt. I don't know. Whatever you really can want to do with them. So go check that out, eldritchfoundry.com. Use our code ROLLSLAYERS to check out 15% off. Lately, I believe that Tyler uploaded the most recent dungeon map to our Patreon.
Yeah,
you know what?
I didn't add any information, unfortunately.
Well, do that now. Do that now, so by the time they heard me saying it like 3 episodes ago, all the information's there. Because, for the low price of a pretty cheap Patreon subscription, I think it's like $3 a month. You can go get a basically free dungeon, and you'd have to pay for that somewhere else probably. And this one's got some pretty premium quality stuff in it. If you heard our podcast, you know that to be true. So, patreon.com/rollslayers. Sign on up, and for the price of, I don't know, probably like half a pack of cigarettes, you can contribute to this podcast.
I have no idea.
Just not understand it. I think that, last time I bought that, we're not doing this.
Siri, how much are American spirits?
If you smoke cigarettes, tell us on Discord.
I can tell you how much all the pipe tobacco costs. All the pipe tobacco
It's been a minute since I purchased cigarettes. I have to preserve my instrument for the podcast.
Right.
We've also, we can't not talk about, Tyler, maybe you should take it away on this one. They're your baby after all. Where does your world live?
World Amble.
What's in there?
My world. No, I'm just kidding.
What you do with it?
Let me promo that. You can really customize your workflow. You can customize all your tabs. But basically what you can do is you can create all these different articles, prep for a session, and say you're in Nogbus and there's several key NPCs, say a council or two. You can pull up all of those tabs of all of those people, have them for quick reference on your phone, or you can even go old school. You can print out your articles and tape them to your DM screen, and then you have all of your information right at your fingertips. Yeah.
That's right, and you can get yours at worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers. And
yes,
finally, we'd like to formally invite you to come say hello to us on one of our several social media channels. We've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. I always forget YouTube now. Give us a like and subscribe on there. Give us a follow on the rest of them. We're there. We're putting stuff on there. Lots of pretty good dope close-up shots of minis and terrain and such. It's all, go check out the gold standard of Dungeons and Dragons miniatures on all of our social channels and join us on our Discord. You can find that link in our Instagram bio and on the website.
Thanks, Hayden. Any other announcements before we get into tonight's game? Anything? No? All right, let's play the game. So, last we left off, the party made their way out of the forest and into the city of Nagbuz, being quite quickly directed by Hesh and his group to Drubor Square, to the council house, where they were spoken for by Falosh about the return of the cult of the Eyeless, about their experiences, about said evidence. The council seemed split. They seemed, each one of them, not dismissive, but hesitant to believe in a return of the cult. But some of them were open to it, whereas some were not. The party returned to, or were given leave to stay at one of the, it's not really an inn, but it's, more of a tavern, a drinking tavern, in the district of Crimson Court called Dirge's Tap House. They had some beers. They went and requested that they be able to stay at Falosh's house as well as spend the coins that they had. They discovered that Yaz, one of the council members, was indeed Falosh's father. And then they returned to Dirge's Tap House, encountering Drilla Warmother, one of the other council members, who gave them some background after dispelling any scrying eyes about the cult, about the culture of Nagbuz, and her suspicions that indeed perhaps even the council has been infiltrated by the cult. She's suspicious of pretty much everyone besides the king, Mole Blackleaf, saying that Thalar, Ilsine, and Yaz have all been acting strange as of late. With that, she tasked you of perhaps looking into it, as there might not be as many eyes on you from fellow council members, not necessarily guardsmen or the Pursuers Guild, but those who are her direct rivals. So you were tasked with looking into Yaz's estates, Thalar in general, and Ilsine leaving the temple quite late as of usual, much longer than he used to leave. With that, she turned into a bird and flew off. Quick clarification on the coin system, because my brain was not working. My brain was not working. So the way that the barter/coin system works is usually you can barter directly, but it's not a barter directly standard sort of thing. It's like a pay later sort of thing. But its cost is dependent on how trustworthy you are to bring that thing later, or to cash in something if unspecified. So it's like, okay, I want this beer. I can bring you a dagger tomorrow. Now, if you're untrustworthy, they might say 6 coins. If they trust you, 1 coin, if that makes sense. So it's a backup of trust, basically. So you can directly barter, which is why you were like, why can't I just trade this knife? You can't. I didn't have that in my head. Cool. But it's almost
that thing.
Yes, it's very much like a, well, it's also for like favors. It's for like, so like I'll bring this log out of the forest for you and chop it up in a week or 2 weeks maybe. And you're like, that's not specified when. I'd really like that in a week. Maybe it's going to be 2 weeks. I'm going to charge you more, if that makes sense.
Cool. So they deal in trust, they deal in coins, and they deal in bartering.
Yes. So
Right
it's
now,
a little
we
bit
owe a
of
lot of
everything.
coins, is what I also hear, because it'll be expensive for us, right?
Oh yeah, you guys would get charged a lot
Word.
if they allow you to trade.
Let's see what I got in my
So
inventory.
the one that we each have is kind of like
You'd have to like pool probably to get some stuff if you
not
wanted.
gonna do that.
The party.
Or we can just regular
Party
barter.
coins.
Or you can just regular barter. But again, this is also inclination based. Some people might not just trade it with you flat out, just because they're like, oh,
Good to know. Great to know.
you don't live here. But yeah, Phalosh peeks his head back in after Drilla flies out the door.
The helmet goes back on.
How quickly?
I think quickly enough.
What's your passive perception?
I mean, this is going to be active, I think, for me.
Okay, what's your active perception?
Do I roll it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you roll it with advantage. You're watching her fly out the door.
I got a 20.
Yeah. You see the shadow of a person coming to the door, the open doorway, and able to pop your helmet back on. Easy enough. Pops his head in, looks inquiringly at the empty room, and you guys. Well, that was strange.
Does stuff like this not happen?
Well, you're outsiders, and Drilla just came and emptied a room for you to speak with her.
She was very helpful. Much more forthcoming in some ways than the others.
How so?
Meaning you.
Well, I
She
couldn't.
just actually helped us understand more about the origins of the Eyeless and these things.
She's breaking some big rules for you. That's not advised, but not my business.
Mert's gonna walk over to Brig and like tug on his garment to get his attention, and then point to his head.
Oh yeah, we're hooked up now.
Do you think we should tell him about his dad?
Oh, absolutely not. I think everything that was said to us in here, we ought to keep from him for the time being.
But he's from here, but not currently living here, so...
It's true, but his daddy is a prime suspect. That's a pretty deep tie, you know?
Well, does he seem like would be upset to find out?
Not particularly, but it's clear that they aren't close, but I also wouldn't be itching to take that risk, you know?
Well, my thought is, I mean, I don't know my parents. They've never really had interactions, but I'm wondering if maybe he has a way of communicating with him that we don't, and maybe he could pry some information out.
It's possible. I wouldn't necessarily write that off, but it seems to me like what was told to us here was probably told to us with some degree of confidence.
Well, sure.
So look, I'm not writing it off. I think that maybe he could be a valuable asset, but I wouldn't be volunteering information to him just right now, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
As you guys are having this discourse,
Yeah, I think while they're having that mental conversation, Bisa would just kind of address Phalosh's furrowed brow and say, what's her name? Drilla. Yeah, he'd say,
Drilla just seemed to, I suppose as a council member, deem it was a reasonable explanation to offer us. Seeing as, understandably, you didn't, you cautiously didn't overshare on our journey here.
sure, I'm just saying the council didn't decide unanimously to share some of that information about Nogbus's history.
They may have after we left the council chamber.
Perhaps. That usually is more of a formal thing, but it don't matter to me regardless. I ain't gonna squeal or nothing.
Well, you seem to indicate that the Eyeless are a bit of a touchy subject here.
Sure.
I can understand why Julie may want to present whatever information she or the council had to forward to us, not in front of an entire crowd.
Makes sense. Well, regardless, you should have a formal decision on this in a couple days at least. A runner did come. You can stay at my home if you would like. It will be crowded as it is a one-bedroom.
That is fine. We are used to having to sleep close to other people.
I'm very small.
Sure. Well, you can grab your things and we can head that way if you'd like.
Well unpacked.
He just kind of nods and starts leading you down the
Does he seem
road.
like he's cool with this?
Make an insight check, or I'll make an insight check for you.
Yeah.
What's your modifier?
Awkward. +6.
+6.
I have a +5 modifier to insight.
I mean, you rolled 24.
You're not supposed to tell me.
I know, but I was like, yeah.
Extreme results are always fun to
Yeah,
share.
you gotta share the
I'm
good
telling
results.
y'all you got ones.
He seems like he likes his personal space. He doesn't seem opposed to you guys staying there. He just does seem to.
It's like,
You
I
put-
don't want this, but I guess if you want this.
You put a few things together. He spends a lot of time by himself in the forest.
So maybe we're gonna sleep at his house and he's not gonna sleep there.
He may not sleep there. I'm not sure. But he's like leading you down the road as you kind of perceive this. You guys pass through this this square again with the large cylindrical building, the training complexes, the tents, and up.
On the way there, Mert just like innocuously is going to ask,
So, Felash, where does your dad live?
Oh, I don't know right now. I mean, he's got a lot of property.
Where's the family home?
Well, that burnt down a few years back, 20 years back. But, I mean, you could likely find him in the Gilded Drum from time to time. He may stay there still as a soldier, a former soldier.
Wait, do you mean your dad has lots of houses, but he chooses not to stay in any of them sometimes?
He moves around.
To sometimes not his own house.
No, all of the houses he owns, he moves back and forth. And then
And
the
also
Gilded
this
Drum
other
is,
place?
yeah, that's more of a military complex. It's right there as you guys pass the cylindrical building. He'll point it out.
What is it? Does it look like a place that a man with a lot of
No, it looks like a military, like almost like a big castle tower, but like big.
Is that common for your superior officers to stay in places like these with the people that are subordinate to them?
Sure, but they have officers' quarters.
And they are nice?
I mean, not particularly, but my father, he likes the luxuries, but he also likes the comfort of military structure.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Rhythm, you know. But he may be at one of his houses. I heard through the grapevine that he's bought up a lot of stuff recently. But I mean, you might find him in his house in the Houndstooth. He's got a manor house about an hour or so south up in the hills a little bit. You know, all sorts of places.
Do you know why he has so many places?
Oh, well, I don't know. My father's a bit of an enigma, but I think it has to do with the fact that he has wealth and power and doesn't know what to do with it. And this is a way of flaunting it, even to the more dignified, a little more restrained folk of Nogbuz. So he's got the power side knocked down. You know, he can kill anyone he wants if he wants to. But he also has wealth. He has property.
Mark's gonna like try to get him to come down to his level for a second, and
Do you know if your dad has any interest or connection with the Eyeless?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, he don't worship grumps, if that's what you're asking. At least to my knowledge. His patron is Bogtrue, Legbreaker Temple. But he also pays homage to the Night Lord, Shargas, as well as Urtris, the White Hand.
What was the name of the god of the Legbreaker Temple?
Bogtrue, Bahgtru. You don't care for elven deities, so I guess that's a little more, traditional orcish. But the Church of the Eyeless seems to, at least from my knowledge, equally worship both the elven and the orcish deities, aside from Coralon, who they all hated. But
So the cult of the Eyeless also worships all of the other gods of all the elves and the orcs.
yeah, both pantheons, I believe. Grumsh was their chief deity. Didn't Drella tell you all this?
No, she told us what she felt was, like he said, like helpful, but not necessarily.
Scut. Okay. Well, shouldn't have told you that, but it's okay.
What do all these gods represent?
Well, Urtris is a god of sickness and decay and plagues. Shargas is more of a haunter of the night, someone who takes and kills and steals in the night. Yeah, they all got their domains, but the orcish folk tend to be a little more brutal.
Sounds brutal.
And the elves seem to be a little more orderly.
So what about this Grumsh?
What about them?
I don't know, like, what is their thing that they do?
Grumsh, she's the king of the orcish pantheon, called the Ruiner at times. He don't get along with the other gods, at least not to my knowledge.
Why is that?
Well, him and Moradin, they've been fighting for years and years, and Coralon hates them, and they just butt heads.
Did you
Moradin's a
say
little
guys or gods?
gods.
Okay.
But, I don't know. I'm not much of a religious person, as you probably can tell here.
You seem to know just about as much as anybody around here.
That's
At least
kind.
more willing to share.
Any other questions?
I think Mark's was answered pretty.
Where's the best food in town
Oh,
that you recall?
we just left a pretty good establishment for food, actually.
Noted.
Did we eat there?
Not yet.
No. But there were some good places to eat, actually, in the temples. They make good food there. He leads you up onto a kind of a switchback of a hill up towards that big outcropping called Houndstooth. And spread out along the hill on the switchbacks are several residential, kind of blocks with various homes. He leads you to a house that's kind of an A-frame, but half stilted, with the back being up against the hill and the front being on standing stilts, pylons, with a kind of a stairway up off the path to a kind of a front porch situation.
Cool.
Well, this is it. It's very dusty. The windows are thick with dust. He pulls out just kind of a small brass key and dunks the lock and throws it open. It is a small little cabin, basically, with a small fireplace in the back, what looks to be a cooking pot over it, like hanging from a hook in the fireplace. Small kitchen area, and what seems to be kind of just a small sitting room with like pelts and other simple things, and then a door to an adjoining room.
It's beautiful.
Well, it ain't much, but it'll do. Yeah.
It's better than that forest.
The Houndstooth is like the nicer part of town?
It's Houndstooth proper is specifically dedicated to the temples and places of learning. So like the Tolbaz College of Sorcery is up there, the Sage's Sanctum is up there, some other stuff.
Okay.
Well, settle in. If there's anything you want to do tomorrow, we can do it. We can meet my father if that's what you're wanting to do. But I mean, like, until they're done deliberating, you just have time to wander. Well,
what time of day is it right now?
Evening.
But we also haven't eaten.
It's food time.
Yeah. You guys want to pop over to church and have?
Over the potluck? They're having the bazaar.
You guys want to head up to the like the proper temple area?
Yeah, sure.
Real quick on this, it's Ilsine, right? That's what I had noted.
Mm-hmm. Ilsine Uldren.
Ilse?
Ilsine.
Ilsine, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Typing phonetically. Which church was that person from?
Kenai Temple.
Kenai.
Ooh, yeah, let's go to that temple.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way up further through the switchbacks to this outcropping. The trees are cleared away, and various unique buildings sit arranged in no specific manner. It seems like they kind of went up where they went up. But each of them seem to be quite old, established buildings. There are some that look straight out of like Oblivion, with their kind of cathedral-esque stately towers, very tall peaked roofs, thick gray granite blocks. And then there are others that are a little more primal. There seems to be what seems to be the entrance to a underground cave that has torches burning inside, like sooty stained walls. There's also what seems to be like more elven construction of buildings, where there's like kind of a long house built of raw logs and unmortared stone with a low peaked roof. There is a very tall, winding tower that almost, it's like 4 points, but if you've twisted the 4 points of a prism, that ends in a small blue dome with some less than helpful directions from some less than thrilled half-orcs and half-elves, you are able to find your way to Kenai Temple, which is what looks to be a tree that has been carved out.
Is this one of the elven temples?
It is.
Okay.
It is a temple to. Well, make a hit a religion check for me real quick.
Are you saying keen eye? or
Keen eye.
Okay. I thought it was keen eye. For a long time.
It's all good.
Saying words.
Oh, those are real words.
religion.
Yes.
Like keen eye. And
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Keen eye.
21.
Hey!
21. Okay, so you know that Kenai Temple likely is referring to Solonar Thelindra, the Keen Eye, who is an elven deity of hunting, archery, and survival. His followers are taught the arts of hunting, archery, moving unseen, and hiding in the wild places. He watched over borders, wilderness, and farmed land, and he lives in, what you said, 24, 23?
24.
Yeah, you know he lives in a plane of existence called Arborea, as well as the Feywild from time to time.
Oh, that's nice. Is he like just an orcish god?
He's an elven deity. He's
Or, like,
depicted
One
as...
that only orcs follow? Or.
No,
Okay.
traditionally only elves follow
Gotcha.
Solonar. And he's a minor elven deity. He's not like a major important one.
Okay.
Other facts, he's depicted usually in murals as like lean, muscular, and clad in a cloak of leaves. As you approach the tree, there are...
Can we kind of circle up a little bit before we go up in there?
Sure.
Now, look, I don't have any big game plan or anything for this other than just enjoying a nice meal, as was promised. But keep an eye out, I guess, while we're in there.
You mean
And maybe we
keep
come back
a
to it.
keen eye?
Ah, there you go. Oh, I like that. But yeah, maybe we don't need to act on it. Maybe we do. But either way, we could treat this as a casual reconnaissance, perhaps.
Sure. You guys make your way in, and it is the core of this tree has been hollowed out to where it's like twisting, almost artistically carved spaces up into various large branches. This is a very large tree, obviously, but it has like several, almost like attic, open air attic spaces where it carves up into branches, but like parallel lines running and twisting up on the interior. Within it is lit by several torches as well as arcane lights, and it seems to be a fairly simple half circle room with pews kind of going around the perimeter of the trunk, with an altar in the center, and you do see like tables in the back with food, and there are several attendants as well who clock you as you enter.
Can I kind of just be actively perceiving things?
Same.
Yeah, what are you trying? What are you looking for? Like you're just looking
keeping
for
a keen eye.
strange things.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check, you guys.
Yeah. Hey,
15.
24.
24. You spot several doors off to adjoining rooms. It does look like there are partitioned, walls with roofs further back, but then the space above still stretches out. So there's likely various rooms and corridors within said tree, as this is only the front half. You see one of the robed individuals come over. Hi. What can I do for you all?
Well, we are in this part of town with our friend and had heard that there could be food here, and so we came to eat some of your food.
Well,
Is Baywatch with us?
he is.
Okay.
Or no,
Wait, he
he
is?
stayed behind. I'm sorry.
Oh, get him out of here.
He gone. Well, I know that you're rather strange and things are up in the air with the council, but Lord Solanor does not turn away folk in need, and we've had quite a bounty of things that we've hunted and foraged, so we'd be happy to have you. This way, and he leads you to the table. It looks like there are various baked pies with berries. There are what seem to be also meat pies with what looks to be boar, as well as boar meat on the side, just for you can wrap it in some bread. There seems to be some gravies. There are various wild onions and other wild vegetables that have been procured. Pretty much everything that you've seen has been gathered from nature itself. Yeah, there's some honeyed cakes as well.
Does most of it look baked or grilled?
Yeah, or just fresh.
Okay, so there's not a particular style that everything's cooked in?
No.
So everything is baked or everything is grilled or everything is fried?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or whatever. You're free to take a plate, take a bowl.
Yeah, Murray's gonna just get a bowl and start piling stuff in it.
Same.
He'll politely nod and head off.
We'll start piling and be and we make a payment or we make an offering to the temple or
Oh, not necessary. I mean, if you feel the need to, provide for the Keen-Eyes Temple, that's fine, but it's not required. Especially, it don't look like any of you worship him, but perhaps you do.
Well, I know, but I just wanted to make sure we are being respectful of custom.
Oh yeah, you're okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
And by the time this interaction concludes, he has a giant.
A bowl of meat. Yes. Eyes flit down to the bowl, then flip back up, and then turns and disengages
He's
the
a hungry,
conversation.
growing boy.
Just you see him nod as he's leaving. Makes sense. You hear trail back. Is there anything else you guys are doing as you're chowing down, or are you just trying to enjoy kind of a hearty meal?
I'd be looking around to see if we can see Ilsine.
Yeah.
It's so close to Ilsine.
You don't see him around.
Or any. Just looking around.
Sure. Nothing.
Would the 24 perception check would have caught anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary catches your eye. There's probably 4 priests and priestesses in this. One of them goes into a back room. Another different one comes out at some point to bring some more food. You see various worshipers come in. Some gather food. Some kneel at the altar with pelts or hunting trophies. You see someone drag in a pretty sizable elk with a friend of theirs and bring that to one of the priests, who nods gratefully, and they bring that into the back.
What's the overall vibe? Are people kind of friendly? Are they reserved?
Reserved.
Is anyone drinking?
There's no beer or ale provided or anything like that, no.
Are people mainly working, or are they mingling while they eat? Are they lingering while they eat? Or
You see most of the people who come to grab the food actually take the bowl or the plate and go. It doesn't seem like people stick around usually when they do.
Are there any people sticking around?
Maybe one or two who sit and chat with one of the priests about a hunt that they were on, or they saw a new patch of beehives, 2 miles southwest of here or whatever.
Another thing I'd be looking for is like how we're being perceived.
Okay, that's an insight check.
People's reaction to us.
What's your modifier?
+6.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. I gotta stop rolling the yellow dice.
No, keep doing it, please.
We like that.
No, we don't.
For our
It's not
roles.
Yeah, for
Two of the priests you notice don't go in or out of the back rooms, and they keep hovering distance from your party. You see them kind of nervously flitting their eyes at you guys, kind of checking on you, and then pretending like they weren't. Seems like they're nervous and interested.
Visa would stand up at some point, like while people have a meal, and he's probably just got like a cup of broth, or I guess that's like the gravy,
Yeah.
whatever. And he would approach one of the priests,
Okay.
I would go with.
and he said,
I've been a friend to a number of the Keena's followers before. Is there a quiet place I might pray?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, we have dedicated rooms for, skinning and cleaning kills.
Natural enough.
Sure, I'll lead you back.
Thank you.
She brings you into one of these back doors into a wooded hallway, just like planed timber at this point. And there are several doors on the right and left, and then it terminates in a T intersection. Before you get to the T intersection, though, 2 doors down on the right, she knocks, peeks. This one's free.
Well, thank you very much.
Sure. I'll be outside if you need anything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Never
Nods.
mind, I don't think I go with him.
You hang around with the priestess?
At mention of like skinning beasts and stuff, she may ask like, do people usually skin their own hunt, or do multiple people like join in the efforts and help?
Oh, I mean, it's pretty personal to one's faith to usually process what they've, the quarry they've snared or caught. But if it's donated to the meals, we priests and priestesses process it usually.
Would you think that I may ask to sit in and watch somebody?
Sure, someone just dragged an elk in, I think.
Okay, I'll go up to
Second
that
round.
person and use my charisma charm to see if I can sit and watch or help skin.
She leads you to one door over, and knocks, and speaks with 2 priests that look to be, they've changed out of their robes and are in what look to be red tunics and leather jerkin-like pants, who are like, one of them's like hand deep in the guts of an elk that they're disemboweling. You turn and she explains the situation, and you're able to sit in.
Okay.
We'll cut to Visa real quick as you enter. This is a small chamber with what looks to be like a large just wood platform with a slab on top for where you can set your haunted quarry. And there is the floor is slanted in towards the center from four corners, and there's a black metal grate that's barred.
Cool. Floor, side walls, outside wall, interior wall. Are any of it the tree?
The back wall would be the tree. Yes.
The tree itself? And when we were walking in, does this tree look alive?
Yeah.
Like, so it's got like growth on leaves and stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. Visa is going to assume a like prayer posture with a hand on the back wall. He's going to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay.
Just spending time knowing that because it is such a large organism, he may not get the same concentrated communication. He may. Unsure, but he's going to go ahead and try to reach out and just like what from the door looks like a prayer posture. And I think with one hand, he's probably just like druid crafting little like flowers or herbs around him, maybe to mask the smell of like the last cleaning in here. But with like a bunch of rosemary settling around his knees and just a hand on the wall, yeah, he's gonna go ahead and cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. You feel the spell take place. You are now able to speak with this tree. Is the tree able to speak back with Speak with Plants?
It says you imbue plants within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation, giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands.
Okay. So what do you, as you feel the power kind of pulse into this tree, you feel a slumbering presence awaken?
He would just like spend a moment to just kind of match the energy of the tree. Not a young plant, something very old, something very tired, or like, not necessarily tired, but just like it's got its rhythm or whatever over the years. And so just kind of matching that pace in his own way, greet the plant, and then begin to ask it like, is Elsine here with you?
A full minute passes before lumberingly, slowly in your mind, the presence kind of expands a little bit. Greetings. We've not been introduced.
I'm Visa.
There are formalities. As you introduce yourself, you realize that the sentence was not done. There are formalities to take place.
Rolling with it.
You wait another second. Visa. Well met. Another pause. I am Rindalor.
Rendalor, I'm honored to speak with you.
Yes. Elsine. I do not know. Many call this place home or temple.
So is it saying it doesn't know many of the people that come and go?
I mean, you're the first person to talk to this tree in quite some time.
Okay, do I remember what Elsine looks like?
Yes. Me remember.
If he has like, I would specifically be thinking of like, was there an ornament he wore, a badge of office or a raiment?
Wore like loose hunting garb with what seems to have been like a necklace of talons. Half elf with light green skin, small tusks, thick black hair, very slight build, corded muscles.
I think remembering that trees don't often speak in names, to do what I can to communicate the visage or the essence of the person and ask if that person is here or has been here.
There's a long pause. 2 minutes go by. 3, 4. Yes, I know this one. He is here below.
Does he frequent your boughs or does he frequent your roots?
As of late, the roots.
Are there tunnels among your roots that exit your reach?
No.
This figure that goes below, do they go alone or with guests?
Both. There are many places within my roots that humanoids visit.
Knowing that I'm approaching the end of the spell, I think Visa would just try one kind of Hail Mary and just ask if the tree, ever since is something that just like would oppose its purpose. Like, so this being a place of worship for Kenai, something very like orderly and honorific, does it ever sense a presence or has it sensed a presence as of late that opposes or corrupts that feeling?
No. I do not believe so. All is orderly here, but time moves differently for me. And I pay not attention to the comings and goings as much as I likely should.
If it's been taking about a minute with each question or something, that's about the 10-minute spell. And so I think just ending those 10 minutes with thoughts and feelings of gratitude.
You feel appreciation return when you kind of send those gratitude vibes. It seems like this tree enjoyed its conversation with you.
Cool.
As this is happening, you are in the other room. They are pulling guts out of this elk. They are sawing off the antlers. They've cut the head off. It looks like they're going to start taking the pelt off and skinning it. Is there anything you're doing, or are you just observing?
I want to observe, but I also want to see if they are making any facial
Expressions.
Yeah, expressions. I want to see what the difference is between just gutting and skinning an animal versus their more spiritual way. I may ask a few questions, or something like that.
The method of which they do this is almost surgical in their approach. So they when they're taking the organs out, they set them aside on like small cloths. They're very neat. They're very organized. Some of these things they put into buckets and pour out eventually, but it's all very orderly. They have designated boxes for designated things, such as the antlers. They have like a big saw that they extract the brain. Like they get every part of this animal, but they also are doing it very solemnly, very wordlessly, and it looks like they know exactly what they're doing. They're not talking to each other, but they're in unison with what they're doing, and very precise with their cuts.
I may, take notes on how they like gut and skin the animal, just so I can maybe learn a little bit better how to get it done.
Sure.
Because I'm interested in like, what we've been doing with the animals, like how to keep like preserve the organs as best as possible and get like a nice clean pelt and stuff like that. If they don't seem very annoyed by me, I may ask like how this process is like spiritual or religious like to them, or how their hunts are like what are what are some of the most powerful things like in the process?
Sure.
Whatever.
As they're going, one of them will kind of give you a short explanation. He'll describe that the gods have, provided these things for us on the planet, and that that it is only right for us to use these to honor what's given to us, instead of just growing our food or just herding or farming. Like we've been provided not only the opportunity to eat wild game, to hunt wild game, but the opportunity to hone our bodies and to hone our craft doing so. Powerful experiences would be, the moment right before you loose an arrow, right before you, jump from the tree to stab something in the heart. Setting a snare is almost a discipline, a religious practice. It's repetitive, it is specific, stuff like that.
And then I think my last question would be like if they have noticed anything different recently, anything like out of the ordinary or strange or weird or unsettling, or not just the normal dangers, but
one of them shrugs and one of them kind of scratches his chin. Nothing strange, but well, Ilsein's not been himself as of late, but it's been a bad hunting season for him, so he's got his council duties now, so.
have there been like any more specific changes? Like what is he doing?
Oh, just a little more antsy. Looks like he's trying to get out and do more things. He's pretty high energy.
Like anxious energy?
At times, but sometimes just energy. Well, we better pickle these before they get, bad.
Can I help with the process?
Sure. They'll lead you into another room that has a bunch of jars and brines and stuff, and they start to pickle some organs and some of the pelts that need to be treated. They start the preliminary treating process, and we'll bring you back eventually, probably meeting Visa on the way out.
Yeah, he'll make himself like known, like, hey, I'm going back to the main room.
Sure. You guys probably meet because it took you a while to talk to the tree. And these priests are quite fast with their processing, so you guys are escorted back into the main hall. What are the rest of you guys doing as this happened? They just kind of went on.
Chowing down.
I'm writing in my like traveler's notebook.
Okay.
I think Leaf's got the helmet off now because we're not being followed, and he's probably on his like third pie plate. Meat pie plate.
Love it. You guys are able to reconvene. The priests are one of them expresses their thanks to you two for your interest in the rituals and traditions of Solonor, Kenai, and they thank you and leave.
Thank you for letting me be a part of that.
They're very appreciative that there's interest. Nice.
We're making friends.
Good job, guys.
I take it y'all had a productive time back there.
Quite happy to share about it later.
Same.
Oh. Well, maybe we ought to take this opportunity while we're all together and enjoying a fine meal to maybe connect a bit more and see where we're all at, as we've been running through the forest for about a week, and now we're not in imminent danger, but in certainly uncertain circumstances. So how are we? Are we feeling aligned? Why did we do this?
Are we still in the temple?
Yes.
Zai would just be very confused by this question, like with wide eyes. Like, I don't. What am I supposed to say?
I know why I did this. I did this because it's a nice opportunity, and not too many folk get to come out here. That's about it.
Well, and how are you feeling about your choice to go through that crazy forest and be here where the people don't like us and don't want us here?
Well, hindsight's 20/20, as it is said. I maybe would have been a bit more reticent had I fully grasped the risks of the forest, but now that we're here, I think I'm doing okay. I do enjoy a nice pursuit of knowledge, and if this isn't that, I don't know what it is.
Greg, same. Yeah, same.
Just here to learn, enjoying seeing some new and exciting places then.
Well, everywhere is pretty new for me, so. But knowing that not a lot of outsiders get to come here, it's like get to see something totally different is a very special thing. I would like to never go in that forest again, which I don't think is likely. I doubt would be my preference. But yeah, I'm interested about this search for the Eyeless and, making sure they are not cutting anybody's paths short and finding out the mysteries.
In between bites of meat pie dipped in gravy, Visa would probably say,
Was a very real possibility you're some of the first gift to ever go through that forest.
He would look at Zai oh, that is pretty cool.
We're quest of the gift.
That is
Here
what it is.
material, playing, doing whatever we want, making our own paths. Look at us.
Yes, one foot in front of the other, brother.
All the way through that crazy forest.
We did it.
Now that we're in a town, is Zai still wearing shoes? We should take them off.
She's still wearing them.
Okay.
so cold.
And also, if everyone else is wearing shoes and it's more weird to not wear the shoes, then we're gonna just try the shoe thing for a little while, and we're gonna do the things.
What's wrong with being weird?
Sometimes it gets you killed.
Also, we are very tall and green.
So you're already weird.
Although I guess here everybody's tall in some kind of.
That's what kind of green.
Some of them.
Honestly, you kind of blend in a little bit more than I expected.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Can imagine. How about you, little ones? Are you doing okay? A lot of steps.
like mid bite.
Well, this is the closest thing I've had to a raiding party in a long time. And this is the most successful I think I've been in a raiding party. You know, usually we go out on these things and a lot of them die really quickly. And it's kind of a miracle that I've made it as long as I have, but I don't know. The potential, the earning potential, like the big ones used to say, there's more of that here. And I think we all stay alive together pretty well, and so just wanna see what's out there.
It's nice having good friends. And I guess sometimes seeing new places isn't the absolute worst, so.
Is that about right? Is it similar with you as it is with them? Have you never really been anywhere prior to about 3 weeks ago?
Not really.
Okay, that tracks.
I normally just stayed in my cave and did a lot of work and chilling.
Well, now you do that, but just inside of the marching Myconhead over there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we fight and almost die all the time, and you know.
Oh, I wasn't trying to say you're not taking some big steps out here.
I mean, if it were up to me, I'd probably still be back at home, but I think it's certainly nice to have met you all, and I'm learning that sometimes when you do things that you're not used to doing, some other nicer surprises can happen too. So
It's true.
Same, Ori.
Like dungeons. So you guys are able to enjoy your meals, your various dipped pies, your various, I don't think anyone got any greens from what I can tell.
I would have.
Okay. Your greens, your piles of meat.
Oh, he's gonna get some berry pie too, for sure.
Berry pie.
Probably like smear around.
Oh yeah. honey, you know,
We're able to just have
crispy
it all in one
guys.
pile, like all mixed together.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
That's on brand and I hate it.
I would have gotten pretty much a little bit of everything and just nicely put together. Maybe on
Is
multiple plates.
Is Ori the type of person who doesn't like when her foods touch?
Yes.
Okay. I love that.
Bird only likes when his food touches.
Yeah.
All has to mix.
All
Put it
the
in
food
Has
has
to
to be
become a
touched.
paste. Like if it's right next to each other, it's okay, but it's orderly.
Yes.
The
Gotcha.
forbidden casserole over.
As you finish your meals, is there anything else you're doing while at the temple? Are you guys headed back to Phalash's? Are you going out into the city? Evening is becoming night, but that does not prohibit you from moving around the city if you'd like.
Yeah, like how much of stuff is like still open? Are people still like about, or are they like settling down for the evening?
As you guys exit, I mean, a lot of people are going to their homes or to small taverns to drink or wherever.
So I would certainly just assume we're going home and start making our way there unless
think
someone
same.
stops.
What can we see, perceive, like, Mert is trying to see if he can see Yads. Just off in the distance.
Like, just in the city?
Yeah.
You kind of go over to the edge of Houndstooth.
Oh boy.
Peek over the big. It's like Pride Rock, you know, in Lion King, where it's like this big, kind of jagged point that hangs over a lot of the city. Make a perception check.
Yeah.
Take a gander.
Disadvantage. It's dark.
I'm a goblin.
Oh yeah.
It don't matter.
18.
18. You don't see Yaz. is a big city,
Fair.
and you are high up.
There.
So, quick mechanics question. Long rest.
Mhm.
When we're taking watches, how approximately long is a watch?
So it depends upon how many watches you take.
So if we take a normal like 3 watches.
I believe they're 2.5 hour spans.
Okay.
Ish.
It's an 8-hour rest.
How long does it take to get from where we're at down into the city?
I mean, like the foot of the hill that leads up to Houndstooth is probably about 10-15 minute walk.
Mert is gonna spend the equivalent of probably a short, like a watch. Like as everybody's heading back to Velash's cabin, Mert wants to do some reconnaissance.
Okay.
In the city to see if he can find Yaz or to see where he might be headed.
So as you guys are heading into Velash's house, you see Mert kind of peel off.
I'd have told them I'm
Okay,
headed into
cool.
the city.
I would not let Mert go by himself to do this thing, so if I will go with him and everyone else can stay here.
I'm gonna go see if I can get us some more tokens.
I'll go with that.
I'm sure there's some games of chance here and there.
Full of meat pie and gravy, Lisa's going to find the chair on Velash's deck.
As you roll up to Velash's house, the rest of the party passing, you see in a big rocking chair, smoking a pipe, Velash just nods at you.
Then if
Helmet goes back on when I see the pipe in the distance.
But we have
if there's space to not encroach on
Oh, yeah.
Velash's space.
There's enough space. There's enough space. You can sit at the other end and do the whole King of the Hill thing, and yep.
So, who's going down into the city?
Everyone.
Well, they're doing something. Am I coming or should I stay
Oh yeah,
with Lisa?
what's Zach doing?
I don't know. I haven't decided.
You got 3 choices.
I don't want to be out for very long, but
Yeah.
I will help.
No.
I will help Leaf.
Mert probably would have explained it as like very lightly like a recon mission to look for Yaz in particular.
Okay. Well, TBD on what Zach's doing.
I think he's just gonna stay.
Okay.
He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm so full. I'm so happy. I'm just gonna sit down here.
I imagine like
probably
Zach like sprawled out on the ground on like one of the pelts, just digesting.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of 17-year-old you're gonna sleep for 12 hours kind of tired.
Yeah.
And he's gonna pull out the cigarettes that he bought in his wetsuit.
Oh
Start practicing.
Yeah.
Love that. We'll start with Mert and Zai as you guys are heading down.
Is Ori coming with us or?
No, I'm
Or
going
he's
with Leaf.
going, they're gonna go do other things.
Oh.
As you guys are heading down into the city, are there specific like spaces you're looking for Yaz at? Are you asking for around, or are you just kind of exploring and looking?
The Gilded Drum, I think, is like the last thing that he knew of. To check.
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 places that Velash mentioned, but the Gilded Drum is certainly one of those that he said, Yaz continually comes back to.
Yeah.
You can make your way down into the district where it looks like a lot of the military infrastructure is laid out, as well as Dirge's Tap House, which is where you guys were originally to be housed. It is once again lively, actually quite lively at this point in the night, and there is, as you're watching, some orc or half orc is thrown through the window. Another figure jumps out and elbows him in the face into the mud and just starts hammering on it. There seems to be what looks to be a blindfolded half elf with a bow and arrow shooting at things in the distance.
Excellent.
Zai is so into this.
People are in full, tavern mode there.
Yeah, I mean, Mert's been in a goblin war camp. He's kind of not phased.
Yeah.
Familiar with shenanigans.
As you guys pass Dirge's Tap House, you find your way to the center of the district where indeed there's this large, almost tower-esque cylindrical building of what looks to be mortared kind of cobblestone. It does have a large stairway cut up and into it with a what seems to be kind of like a barbican gate of some sort of hardwood.
Is this the location I was looking for?
This is the Gilded Drum. It's what was referenced by Faylosh.
Does it look enterable?
It looks guarded.
So, like, seeing that it looks guarded, Mert is gonna try to blend in as much as possible, but also pay close attention to who may be entering and leaving.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check as you guys are kind of circling the tower. You do see a lot of arrow slits in some windows higher up. So there are possible places of ingress besides just the front doors.
Yeah. 24.
24?
Check.
You see several, half orcs, half elves of more decorated armor, wearing some sorts of plate, some splint or half plate, who from time to time enter. You see squads of a little more disorderly soldiers come in and out. Some beeline straight to the tavern. Some are going to the training grounds. It seems to be a busy door, and it does stay open. The doors aren't closed, but you can see with them being open to the outside that they are hardwood. But
it looks like a very specific type of.
It is a military. It is a castle, basically.
Yeah. This is not like casual sneak into, walk into kind of place.
I mean, confidence is key. Just act like you're supposed to be there, right? I'm not endorsing that. That was sorry.
Yeah. No. Zai would lean over to Mert. How long do you want to sit here and watch for him to maybe come out?
Well, I don't want to stay out too late. Right? You know how it goes. We need our sleep.
That is true.
I don't know. I figure if we get an eye on this guy and see kind of where he's going, maybe we can figure something out.
Perhaps, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's part of the whole Eyeless thing. Maybe he isn't. It'd be nice to have some proof.
Sure. So you want to stay for how much longer, you think? Or you want to look at some other places?
I think maybe an hour or so.
Okay.
Just kind of like trying to blend in and seem innocuous.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that comes in or out that looks like not just another soldier?
There are several officers that go in and out. You can tell that they've got more put together armor, more decorum, more discipline, but no mega high up generals or anything from what you can tell.
Okay.
As you spend about an hour, about 30 minutes pass, and you hear the shattering of wood and turn to see the door of Dirge's fly open off its hinges with a very tall, like 6'5" half orc hitting the door and knocking it off its hinges. Stepping through is a hulking figure in a bar fight. Recognizable as Yaz, who, as the other orc is getting its bearings, grabs him by the foot and just slams him against the wall with one hand, and then slams him down into the ground and just heartily laughs. Good fight. See you tomorrow. And starts walking off into the city.
Mert would look at Zai, and she would just have like really big, wide, interested eyes. Like, this is amazing, and I love this guy.
Yeah. So I mean, Mert's gonna signal to Zai like we should follow him.
She would probably follow his lead since it's his idea. Do you get up and just kind of casually walk like you're just walking, or are you like kind of skulking?
Mert is definitely skulking.
Okay. Make stealth checks for me. Do you have heavy armor?
Yeah.
Okay, disadvantage. I'm gonna give you advantage due to your background.
Okay.
Even here, you're able to find the small places where the other big folk wouldn't be
Oh, thank
looking.
God for that advantage.
Oopsies.
Ooh. Just for those of you listening,
Oh my goodness.
my first roll was a natural one. And my second roll was a 2.
Wow.
plus 9 puts me at about 11.
Okay.
5.
5.
Oh.
You guys start to tail, bobbing in and out of traffic. You pass by the orc that was unceremoniously slammed against the wall. He has very many broken bones and is very much a bloody mess. 2 of his friends pick him up and start dragging him off in the direction of one of the tents. You guys follow for a good 10-15 minutes southward into Drugor Square, past Drugor Square, and into Bear's Maw. Going around 20 minutes, 25. What's your passive perceptions?
18.
I don't know. 13.
Okay. As you are passing through, you spot what looks to be that building where more of the bounty hunting-esque figures were, likely the Pursuers Guild. Yaz turns a corner into an alleyway. As you guys kind of cautiously peek around, Mert, can I have you make a athletics check?
Oh, sure. Oh, it's probably not going to be super great. Just regular athletics?
Yes.
Oh, not bad. 15.
Mert, as you peek around, you are unceremoniously grabbed by the head with this large palm thing, or hand just palming your head like a baseball. And he rips you off the ground and slams you against the wall. Zai, you see Mert just get zonked out, and as you go around the corner, he smiles at you, and the tusk that pierces its cheek digs in a little bit. Someone's following me, yeah. Pins you against the wall so you can speak. Tate removes his hand from your head.
Yeah, you're really big and you're really scary, and I just wanted to know more about you.
Make a deception check.
21.
Whoa.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, a big guy like you, are you scared of the Eyeless?
They don't exist. So no.
But, well, how can you be sure they don't exist?
They're gone.
Well,
Fool's errand.
but if they're gone, they had to be here at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see any?
No. What about you? Do you want to know things too? Or are you just here to make sure he doesn't get squished?
Hold on!
Let me think about it.
I'm wanting to cast Detect Thoughts, but I've never used it, and so I don't know. Will he be able to?
He will see you cast the spell. He won't know that you have cast it. If you did it behind Mert while this is going on,
Like while he's looking at Mert?
I'd allow for like a sleight of hand check to kind of mutter the words and do a muted somatic.
Would my passive perception be able to pick up that she's trying to cast a spell?
Yeah, I mean, you'd see her like move, grab a spell component or something, and
you get immediate thoughts for free.
So, like-
if you want to get deep thoughts, you have to get a saving throw.
I mean, as she's casting that, and Mert realizes he's gonna continue the conversation.
Okay.
Hey,
Or like wiggle around corners.
tell me about that guy that you slammed. That was kind of cool.
Make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Okay.
What, him?
Do it.
Praying for you.
He just challenged me to a fight. He was pretty deep in his cups.
Yeah.
Some rank and file soldier.
You know, I've been kind of into brewing stuff myself. Pretty new at it. But I got a batch back home waiting for me.
Come back here after you drank it, and then maybe I'll eat you and get some ale flavor with the meat.
Are you a little drunk right now?
Yeah.
You see that his immaculate silken vest is a little bit stained with various ales and what looks to be some food. He might be a little bit of a messy eater.
How was your sleight of hand check?
14.
14. Okay, you gain surface thoughts. He doesn't seem to take notice of your casting of the spell. You hear in your head,
Not telling me the full truth. What does this little one really want? He looks tasty.
How long does the spell last? A minute?
Yeah. If you push and fail, he will know that you push.
Right, yeah, no, I'm not doing
Okay. I'm just asking. You can still
that.
do it.
No.
Okay. If you don't want to risk it. After telling, a few stories, making a few comments, he'll drop Mert. You fall a good 8 feet.
Do I have my slow fall thing yet?
You're 2 feet away from falling damage. You're good.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have my slow fall at this point, so.
I would, while the spell's still going, I would ask, unless they're like in the middle of something. Like you really don't believe that the Eyeless are back? You don't think that they are here again?
Of course not.
Of course they are, is the thought that comes to mind.
Okay. But we have seen them. There's some people that are taking their eyeballs out and trying to spread this eyeball-less thing to other people.
Fans.
In your head, you hear his thought, they must have screwed up.
Well, we fought a couple of them that knew exactly where we were.
What do you mean?
They hit us with swords, and they couldn't have done that if they couldn't see us,
It's true. They could all see us even though they had no eyeballs. So there's some kind of eyeball-less magic.
There's other power that comes from other things, not just Grum. Shh. Stay away from me from now on.
Oh, but
You do it again, I will eat him, and I will mount you on a wall.
Pushes past you.
You guys wanted to meet this guy so bad.
Never meet your heroes. Also, Felash, your dad is weird.
I liked him so much.
As the realization of the danger you were probably in settles in, and before we cut to Breg and Ori's adventure, that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode.
What?
You made it. You survived.
We're going to survive.
Not necessarily.
You guys rolled horrible.
Squished you guys.
This guy was drunk and perceived you.
Yeah, that was bad.
Man.
But honestly, the detect thought,
Yeah, okay, well.
even just those tiny little.
I know, right, yeah.